Maayong adlaw mga amigo, my name is MJ and welcome to my book review for The Serpent and the Wings of the Night. So in the past week, or I think it was 2 weeks ago, I have been hyping up this book, and based on that, I just wanted to make a concise and hopefully helpful book review so that I can say my thoughts about this book to the world. So knowing the taste of the Filipino book community, I think the reviews and the taste for this book will be varied, so hopefully you're going to watch this book review with an open mind. Also, this book review will be spoiler filled, so if you do not want to be spoiled while watching this book review, I suggest you skip this one. So I'm going to start with the book review now. So I'm going to start with the concept of the book. So I think the concept of the book is somewhat interesting. It is about a human girl being adopted and raised by this vampire king. And in this world, there are different kinds of continents with different kinds of creatures, or at least that's what I imagine it to be. So in this world, there is a continent filled with vampires, and also there is a continent filled with humans, which is called the human lands. Now, the story is focused in this continent filled with vampires. And in this world, or in this continent, the vampires were ruled by a high king, or the high night king, which is the highest designation of the vampire. And under this high night king, there are other kingdoms under them. Now, the high night king is the one who adopted this human girl. And also, in order to get that position, there is this famous line in the book which is named "The High King must sit in a pile of bones," basically saying that in order to become the Night King, you must kill a lot of vampires to achieve that. Now, in this world as well, in every 100 years, there is this tournament like Hunger Games style in which the victor can then ask a wish from the vampire goddess. I actually forgot the name of the vampire goddess because it's quite difficult to pronounce her name, but anyway, now Oriah, the main character, the human that was adopted, being human, wanted nothing more to be equal with her adopted father. Thus, she entered into this tournament, basically so that she can get her wish to the goddess to become some sort of this equal with her father. Now, in this tournament, since this is a romantasy book, she met a competitor like her, and she then developed a romance with this competitor. Now, the book is dark and harrowing, and it is filled with death and fight scenes, etc. So I suggest you look up the trigger warnings for this book before delving into this book. Now, the second thing which I want to talk about is Oriah, which is our main character. Now, I greatly enjoyed her character, and I find her character to be badass and complex because she has this dilemma within herself, because she identifies as half human and half vampire, basically on her thoughts and feelings, which I think is quite interesting, most especially if you have read like the ending part of the book. Now, I really enjoyed the fact that despite being growing up as a daughter of the Night King, she still has the compassion as a human being, and I really enjoyed like the push and pull of like these two moral beliefs inside of her. I think it's quite interesting to read. My only takeaway for her character is Oriah being badass is not original. I have seen it in like other books, most especially in young adult fantasy. However, I still enjoy her character. Like, there's just something about badass female characters in books that I really enjoyed. So I really don't care if like I am reading the same character over and over again. I just really enjoy it. Now, for the male lead, which is named Brain or Rain, I'm just going to flash the name of the male lead on the screen because I really don't know how to pronounce it. Now, he is actually quite basic in my opinion, with him being this huge hunky guy, but personally I don't care about that because he is just so kind and so unbelievably heroic. I cannot help but fall in love with him. However, that basically changed when I read like the ending part of the book, which I'm going to talk about later, because that ending broke me. Like, it literally broke me. The next thing which I want to talk about is Vincent. To be quite honest, I find Vincent's character to be quite amusing because the names of the other characters are pretty hard to pronounce, and then there's Vincent. Vincent is like the normal named character in this book, actually. That's why I can't help but laugh whenever I read his character like on the book. Like, it's just so funny that his name is so basic and he is the Night King. But anyway, I don't laugh at it anymore. Like, I try not to laugh at it anymore because maybe the name of the character has a huge significance to the author. Now, the character Vincent is supposed to be this ruthless great king. However, there are times that he feels lacking because sometimes there are moments in which the portrayal of him being this ruthless great king is more talk than show, which I find to be like really aggravating because Oriah has portrayed him to be a really great king that people like feared upon. However, he is not delivering at all, which is quite frustrating, to be honest. However, Vincent as a character, I really enjoyed him as well, because even though he is a vampire, he still loves Araya, which made my heart warm actually. Actually, in this book, Araya has these two distinctions of Vincent, which is Vincent the King and Vincent the Father, in which quite amazing actually. Let's go to the part in which I wanted to talk about the most, and it is the plot and the writing style. First off, I greatly enjoy the writing style. I think it is within my spectrum of taste when it comes to the writing style. I think it is highly descriptive, which I greatly enjoyed. However, there are times as well that it is more telling than showing, which I have told about Vincent. Not only in Vincent, but also in some parts of the book. Most of the time, some are telling and not showing. But when it comes to the plot, at first I actually dismiss it as a basic. I mean, there is this tournament, blah blah, and people fall in love, blah blah. And then the plot twist happened, which broke me so much. Now, I told you guys that Rain or Rain was the male lead, right? And basically Araya falls in love with him in the last part of the book. They actually became allies in the middle part of the book, because Araya was bleeding and there are other vampires in the castle who wanted to kill her because there is this shortage when it comes to food and blood. So they became allies and they became friends, and they eventually found out that they have the same motivations, because as what I have mentioned, Rain was turned into a vampire, and it is quite rare in this world for a human being to actually become a vampire, because most of the time when humans were bitten and the venom will run to their veins, most of the time they got killed. So Rain is essentially the outlier. Turns out in the last part, Araya was actually the one who won. And then Rain told her beforehand that he joined the tournament because he wanted to help other people. And Araya, being the heroic woman as she is, upon winning the tournament and basically killing Rain, she told the goddess that all she wanted was Rain to win. Now Rain won, of course, and the goddess basically resurrected him from the dead, and Rain's only wish is to actually get the powers back that was taken from him so that he can help the other people. However, Rain actually was the heir of the kingdom in which Vincent has destroyed in the prologue. In the prologue, there is this kingdom in which Vincent destroyed, in which Araya was also taken from, because Araya came from that kingdom. Rain was actually this prince, basically, because he was turned by the vampire king of that kingdom. So basically, because of that turning, he essentially became the heir of the kingdom. So to speak, the people that he wanted to actually help was the people from the destroyed kingdom who are enemies of Vincent. And after winning the tournament, upon gaining his powers back, he was very powerful, and Araya was too late to realize that he actually basically just used her. I mean, in my opinion, he just used her. And then afterwards, Rain killed Vincent in front of Araya in cold blood, and after that marrying Araya so that she can run, basically being the heir of Vincent. And I find that scene to be quite sad, because Vincent told Araya, "I love you," and he never did that ever in Araya's entire life. And then Araya became the heir of Vincent, because it turns out Araya was actually the half daughter of Vincent. After Vincent died, there's this tattoo that's saying that she is the heir of the kingdom. Now, in this book, the heirs of the kingdom, they usually get this tattoo right here, and oh my god, I don't know what to feel about that. Now, the ending of the book basically ended with Araya marrying Rain, and then the people who have been saved or have been salvaged under Araya's rule, because Rain also killed the people under Vincent and Araya's rule. They essentially went to the castle in which Araya was basically imprisoned by Rain, and they told her that they acknowledge her as queen, and the only thing that she needs to do is to tell them what they needed to do. And Araya told them to actually just gather strength so that they can fight Rain's kingdom and all of that stuff. That is so fucked up actually, because I just felt my heart break for Araya, because Araya also has this encounter of a heartbreak before meeting Rain, and now she was heartbroken again due to betrayal and all of that stuff. And I find that to be harrowing and really sad, and I'm just excited to read the second book, because it will be released in April, and I don't know if I can wait. Yeah, so basically that's it. Those are my thoughts for this book, and if you enjoyed this book and want to read this book, please do let me know in the comments down below. And thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.
Oh, 1 mile in fog patches and showers early Friday, but improving to greater than 6 miles on Friday morning.
Start